First thing we got to get established here is, can you hear me? Hey, AJ's Adventures. There we go. See, can you guys hear me? Hey, folks. Can you guys hear me all good? Awesome. Well, here we are going. W.I.P Wednesdayz. Waka waka. With Wowwy'z Workshop. I don't have my intro to play, so I'm just going to do a little of that. And I thank you guys for being here to the very, very first W.I.P Wednesdayz. So, I hope you guys are all good. This is the first go, so let's just make her through her. I'm going to draw today. I wasn't comfortable enough to just go on there and start carving and stuff, and I didn't know how to set everything up. And I'm just learning, and we're just going to give her. We're just going to do it to it. I'm going to draw today, do some talking. I got a doobie, freshly rolled here, ready to go. Everything's cool and chill. Had a little smudge, did a couple ohms. Believe me, folks, the stuff that I preach, it really helps. It really, really helps. So, I hope you guys are all doing well out there. It's been some crazy days in the world. Why are you yelling at us? There's my brother. Hey, you guys, that's my brother Darren. That's my brother. Here, Darren, you're gonna be a moderator because, like it or not, you're a moderator by birth. I'll try not to yell, sorry guys. So yeah, I just figured I'd do some drawing, do some talking, share some thoughts. Like I say, it's a crazy world right now out there. And I know for myself and so many of you guys out there that you guys use the art as a place, as a safe haven. And I find that the crazier things get out there, the more I'm needing to come to this place, because yeah, it can get pretty goddamn overwhelming. We go. Mark Joyce, hey, you made it, brother. Thank you. This drawing's been going on for a little bit, as you can see. Oh, you can't see it here, but let me slide this. There's my brother's. I did one of my brother's special copper spirals hanging from the tree there. That's a shout out to Darren. So yeah, I've been going on this guy for a while. I can't bang him out. I can do a wood spear faster than I can draw one, but thank you for coming. Oh, thanks. I didn't know he was doing one. Right at 2 o'clock. What you doing, CD777? Cutting my grass. I'm just kidding. We're all in this together, guys. And I just appreciate you guys. They're the ones that came. So yeah, like I might have mentioned to some of the folks here that are subs, drawing was my very, very first artistic love. And as a small boy, I was always had a pencil and a paper close by. Didn't like what was going on around me. I'd just dip out and draw, you know. It's an escape that we can all have. And it sure has been cool to get to know all these people here. Mostly everybody on YouTube, the majority, the people I find are kindred folk out there, you know, doing the same thing that I was doing. Like when I found Carving Fusion, it was right when everything was getting hectic with lockdowns and everything, and I always wanted to learn how to carve a wood spirit. As you can see, I enjoy drawing them. So yeah, it's just oh, hey, from Josh and I, cool drawing. Oh, hey, hi Melanie, thank you. Rodriguez recipes. Do you sell these? Oh, I can, you know, sell a drawing on the side under the table. Thank you, Melanie and Josh, for coming. I hope it's not gonna be very exciting and just drawing and blabbering, but hope it's enjoyable to you guys. I do, yeah, I will sell drawings and stuff. Just, you know, hit me up on Facebook or somewhere, and we can always make things happen. Thank you for coming. Hey, everybody has a potential, I believe, AJ's to draw. It's just, you know, the practice. I did have a knack. I'm not gonna lie, I did have a bit of a knack when I started drawing as a kid, and that's what, you know, always brought me back to it. But I found that just practicing, it's muscle memory and stuff, and like all things, like most of us with our carving, right? Every drawing or every carving is a step to the artist you want to be. Think of it as like rock steps, and every piece that you do is another step up to that artist that you want to be. That's my way of thinking of it. So it doesn't matter how your art piece turns out in the end, because you've still taken that step. It can be a shitty rickety step, but it's still a step. Yeah. But it sure has been cool meeting everybody on YouTube. So that's what I was blabbering about, sorry. All these friends that I'm finding on YouTube, they were like me. They come to YouTube to find something, right? And in this case, it was carvers. And you type in how to carve a wood spirit, and of course, you know what's going to pop up? Mr. Jordy Johnson. That's who pops up. And that's how it all started. I first did my very first one with knives. I did it with an X-Acto knife, and my very first wood spirit was a Doug Linker tutorial. And I sat there, and it took me 3 days, and I didn't cut myself, but after those 3 days, I was like, you know what? I can't freaking do this. I got too much of like a OCD and crazy in my head going on that I just couldn't sit there and do it and whittle for so long. Like the fact that it took me so long just freaked me out. And so then I stumbled upon power carving, and at first it was like tree line or something I found, and they did like reciprocating power carver machines, and so I was going kind of down that rabbit hole, so I didn't know what I was doing. And so I was looking into those things and thinking, so do I get one, like a hand piece with a blade that goes, and it was still cutting, right? It was still knife work, and so I wasn't digging that idea. And then I stumbled upon the Carving Fusion and power carving. Yeah. He really has, Chris. He's paved the way for so many of us. And, you know, him and I will talk, and he'll joke about, you know, how many channels there are out there. And I laugh and I say, you did it. Don't complain about it. You did it. You planted the seeds, brother. You know? I don't want you to cut yourself, Timmer. Don't do that. So yeah, that's funny. But hey, the way I see it, it's like this tree, like this. This is like, for our circle anyways, this is like the old Carving Fusion tree, and then all of these branches that come out are different channels, you know, and it's all come from the same source, but we're all artists that want to succeed ourselves and stuff. And you know, I'm not necessarily trying to zone in on Jordy's territory by any means. I'm just here doing like, I do art regardless, and if it's not carving, it's drawing. My brother and I do all the stuff he does all the copper, and we're doing electroforming. Electroforming is freaking wicked, you guys. Like, the whole science behind it and stuff, it is so interesting. And the fact that you can like make something and then plate it in copper and make it like super hard and just coat it in copper, it's so cool. It's another way, like Darren, he recycles pipe and wire, ground wire and stuff, and he can make awesome pendants and leaves and all sorts of things. But we can also, the scrap that isn't worth, you can't make anything physically that way, you can use that scrap to electroform, and then that all ends up turning into like powder and coating a new thing. And it's crazy. When I make my first video, you guys are going to see, you guys are all going to catch the bug too. And then to set up is like a $300. Well, anything in our art world is fucking 300. Oh, well, I swore $300 to set up. Yeah, put your gloves on, man. Is Grumpy here? There he is. Come here. Good to see you, brother. I hope you got a nice green one rolled. And you ready to hear a crazy man babble for a while? Like Darren said, yell at you? Oh, I do. I do. I just happen to have some of my special West Coast tobacco that I've talked about in Robert's video there. Got one ready to go. Shout out to Robert if he makes it. His pipe. I don't know if you guys saw that video. There's the pipe. Zebrawood pipe. I'm sorry about the light, but I can, if that light ain't good, guys, I can do this. Give it a little bit more. That's why I set up the old illustration station by the window the way I did. It's the natural light. It's the best light that you can have for drawing, I find anyways. Got my BC's fine. Reported. Thanks, brother. I'll report you too. Get you thrown in Facebook jail. Just kidding. That's all crazy, all of that Facebook jail and stuff. I've never been in, but if any of you guys know it as me, I don't stir too many of those political pots and stuff. I go on there, I post my art and I dip, and then I sit back and watch everybody freak out. But yeah, I don't do it. I just don't. I don't play in that playground. And plus, I'm too sensitive, man. That stuff freaks me out. People start fighting with me. I'll sit there and freaking have an existential breakdown. We don't want Wowie to have that. He's got to be at the workshop. Working. Oh yeah, that's something too I wanted to talk about. Unless like, okay, I'm going to give it to it straight. I am Wowie, okay? Because when I was little, I couldn't say Larry. So it was like a little tiny kid trying to say Larry. Wowie. Wowie Bid is how I said my name. Instead of Larry Dib, it's Wowie Bid. So Wowie has always been my nickname in the family, right? So that's why it's Wowwy'z Werkshop. And then the Z. When I was little, I had this thing about the underdogs. When I was really, really little, I was a sensitive little dude. And I was really... I don't know, I thought about the underdog and how it would feel to be him and stuff. I was just overly sensitive, okay? And so I had this weird thing about Z, that it was like Z or Z or however you call it from wherever you are. It was the forgotten letter. And I always kind of felt bad for Z. So I used it, like even when I was younger, when I was in my teens, I said, if I ever have children, I'm going to name my boy Zamarin, like Cameron, but with a Z. Or if it's a girl, it would be Zenya. Enya with a Z. Enya is one of my favorite artists. But going back to the Z. So when I do things and stuff, I'll use Z instead of S. So it was Wowie, and this is my workshop. So it's Wowwy'z Werkshop with a Z. And then now I'm going to address the E in work. Okay? Now, we come from Oil Town, up in northern Alberta. In Alberta, in Grand Prairie mainly is where we grew up, but we lived in other little small, because my dad, he worked for Halliburton Oil, and so he got transferred a lot. And so we jumped around in little towns up there, but primarily it was in Grand Prairie. And that's Oil Town, okay? So growing up, everybody, well, I was a little bit different because I was good at drawing and stuff, so I did have people that were encouraging me to follow my art, but the majority of people, it was no, as soon as you can get at your job, you go to the rig and you work with an E. Hey Larry, you working? Why aren't you working? You can't, no, artist isn't no job. You can't be an artist. You gotta go to work. And it wasn't work with an O. It was always sounding in my head like an E. Work. Get working. Gotta find that goddamn job in the rig and work. Gotta have a family and pay for that family. Gotta work. With an E. So with me, I did not want to. I've tried every job, let me tell you. I've tried it. But when you have a heart of an artist and you're constantly wishing you were making something, creating, like when it doesn't matter what medium, you just have to do it. And so I couldn't dedicate myself to any of those types of jobs. But everybody around me was always, yeah, whatever, Larry, you got to go to work. And so what did I do? I found the better, like I liked partying and I liked the nightlife. So what did I do? I took a bartending course. And so my work with the E was slinging drinks, dancing around and being a goof, and being around girls. So that was my job. And I just also so happened to be a bit of an alcoholic. So that didn't mix very well. That kind of went to hell in a handbasket. But I got stories. I've had jobs. I have seen things and done things, folks. I tell you. So the fact that I used the E in the work, like I actually, when you think about it, I could have shot myself in the foot in some ways with a name on YouTube. If people hear Wowwy'z Workshop, well, they're going to say WOWY''S and then workshop with the O. And then this, I'm not big enough, so this, my channel probably won't pop up. So in some ways I may have screwed myself, right? And I understand that. But I'm doing something because this is me. And I make everything has meaning when I do shit. I overthink it all. So that's why there's a Z, because I care about the underdog and I'm crazy. And that's why there's an E in work. Do work. This is my work, okay? I'm saying it to the world. I wasn't meant to be on a rig. I'm an artist. My work is right here. Okay. I saw it all when you did it. Done it. Oh yeah, I know Darren saw a lot, man. Darren was right there with me. Darren was right there with me. So that was good. That's gonna be some of the stories I tell too, guys. Like, my goodness, the crazy adventures we've had. You know, the movie Superbad. Well, when we moved to Edmonton, like this, okay, Grand Prairie's the oil town, right? But then there's a town called Edmonton, and Edmonton, Alberta, is east of Grand Prairie. Grand Prairie is higher up in the province, and then so if Grand Prairie's here and this is Alberta, Edmonton's kind of here, and you'd go to the city. It was known as the city, and like for us when we were growing up, we just wanted to be back there because West Edmonton Mall is in Edmonton, and once we went to West Edmonton Mall, man, we were ruined. In the 80s, oh, that's where you wanted to be. We wanted to be in Edmonton, you know, going on a vacation, going to West Edmonton Mall. And so, yeah, when we moved from Grand Prairie to Edmonton, when my stepdad got transferred, he's a pilot for Air Canada. Oh, my Lord, did some shenanigans go down in Edmonton in our teens, well, in our later teens. And that's actually going to be where I tie into a very interesting story today. I don't know if you guys saw in my Facebook teaser, but I said I was going to tell you about the gnarliest painting I've ever created. And I say created because it wasn't necessarily painted. I'm going to tell you about the gnarliest painting and how that situation changed my life, or actually worked in my favor. I'm going to tell you guys that story, and that's going to be at the end of the live feed. Whoa, we got So. Hi, So. Darren morning. I'm already going to be in YouTube jail by my brother. You're tearing up medicine hat. Yes, you understand. I know Tim knows. There's a couple Canadians out here. This is funny. We got a couple Canuck brothers, and then we got people across the pond. Now we got So from Quebec. Bonjour. Bonjour, mon ami. Yep, Tim knows all about Edmonton. Well, God, you know the movie Superbad? Well, that was our life, but it was every weekend. And it was crazy, and I'm not exaggerating. It was like Super bad is the PG version of what the shit that we did in Edmonton, man. And like, think about it, having the West Edmonton Mall. When we moved to a place called Willow Court, and it was just one short bus ride to West Edmonton Mall. And so basically, like, we slept at the house with our mom and dad, but we spent our time at that mall, and it was nuts, and it was so much fun. Now that I'm going to be turning 50 in March, my goodness, and I keep thinking about the days of old, and my memories keep going back to West Edmonton Mall, where we were just running like a bunch of crazy, wilding teenagers, man. And it was weird. It was a time where, like, there were security cameras and stuff, but they weren't very. God, I gotta watch what I say. Let's just say we got away with a lot of crap, because it was in the early, like, in the early, it was 89, 90, 91. Like, we could, at nighttime, you could walk through West Edmonton Mall from one end to the other. They left the main part open. All the stores were closed with the big cages and stuff that came down. But you could walk through that mall. It was a different time. There weren't cameras freaking everywhere, and you weren't being watched by Big Brother the way we are now. So the stuff that went down in that mall, but right here, if you guys, to anybody who doesn't draw, God, I'm just talking, and not even talking about drawing, but you guys getting enough light there? Yeah, we just run amok in that place. And there was, like, set up, like, there was, like, phases of the mall. So third phase was our phase, and it had well, there was two McDonald's, but it had McDonald's, it had a movie theater, it had, like, a food court and the movie theater and a big arcade. And we that was our food court. And then there was phase 2, and that was the headbanger court. And you go down there, and well, no, there was phase 1. Phase 1 was Fantasyland, where all the rides were and stuff, and that was the headbangers food court, and we would fight with them. But yeah, just always, every weekend was a super bad movie, but way worse. It's Edmonton, Alberta is a very rough town, and if you're out there looking for trouble, oh man. So I want folks to know that I try and watch my language on my channel, and I come across as a happy and, but the truth is, we're crazy at MFers. We're crazy. And now in our lives, especially from being, like, my brother and I we both have disabilities, right? I'm not afraid to say it. And that changed us when it comes to empathy and compassion and just being proper human beings. Getting hurt and the things that went wrong with Darren medically, it changes a person, makes you really reflect and stuff. But we're crazy. We come from the crazy people, and our relatives are all from northern Alberta, and they were very, very smart people. But they're also people go up there in the bush. We know how to party. We grew up in a house that had a live band, and they connected a church to an old townhouse with really high ceilings, and that was where the band was. And on my mom's side, our family had a band. So every Christmas, all of our holidays and stuff, whenever we would meet up at the farm, it was live music. And just think of, like, this little house, like a church connected to a little house, and there was these steps that went down, and a big living room, and then in the center a stage with a fake one of those old school fake fireplaces that had this built-in that had, like, all of these things that folded down, and it was like cassette tape and 8-track, and there was one of those things that looks like a fireplace, and then speakers and stuff are built around it. That was in the center where the priest used to stand, and then they set up the stage there, and it was freaking live music, man. Up there, country, old, some rock, but I'm talking old country western music, and we partied. And then my grandparents also had a cabin out back from the house, and so there were cabin parties. So yeah, those are the people that we come from. somebody would say hillbillies. We're not hillbillies, but we came from the bush, you know. Didn't really start eating cow till I was like 10 years old. I ate moose all my life growing up. So yeah. Crazy kids in a big city. Oh, the crazy stuff we did in that mall. But I gotta watch what I say. I don't want to lose subs. But I'm telling you folks, we've always been really good people and shit. We just, you know, just a little bit crazy is all. You can be a good person and a little bit nuts. So how are we doing? Let me look at this. Not so far. Yeah. Bushbillies. It sounds like a good time. They were really good times, man. You know, lots of times shit went wrong, and we witnessed stuff. And I'll just be real about it. It was always when alcohol involved. You know, booze is fun until it's not, and then all the shit goes down, right? But for the most part, our childhood and that growing up on that farm was really, really fun. And then shout out to my dad's side. On my dad's side, my granny, his mom, she plays guitar, and then my step grandpa, Papa Bill, he played like banjo and guitar and some mandolin. So on my mom's side was the band, Northern Sunrise, and then on my dad's side was my granny and Papa Bill, and so we'd go over there, and then she'd be playing Patsy Cline and Merle Haggard, and you know there would be music circles at their house. So it was on both sides, man. It was some neat times up there, neat times, and it molded us, you know. It really molded us into the artists and the people that we are, being around other creators like that. Like I play guitar. My first instrument was on the keyboard, so I played the keyboard because Grandma had one. Grandma Seder at the place that had the church and the band. They had this really, really cool organ up in the dining room, and all the grandkids learned how to play and they had songbooks. You know, "This Land Is Your Land," and you know, those old songs that you could play along with the chords along the side, you know, one of those setups. So my first was keyboard, and I would do, you know, like Ghostbusters and Aha, Take On Me. I learned how to play all those songs on all just like the main keyboard bits. And then I started my Uncle Delmer, God bless him. We lost him, but he was an awesome uncle who was always teaching us stuff. And he taught me my very first guitar chords and how to play the song Runaway by Del Shannon. And that was like the very, very first guitar song that I ever sat down and put my time in to learn. And then my Uncle Kevin, who was the drummer for the family band, he started teaching me just on the very, very first basics, like boom 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 boom. He would teach me a different one each like Christmas, and just like a different rhythm arrangement. And I would just sit and play them on the drums or on the whatever, any hard surface, right? And that's how my drumming started. And I actually I'm a pretty good drummer. I'll say it. I'm a pretty good drummer. I can play along to older Metallica that isn't too crazy. You know, For Whom the Bell Tolls, I can play along to. I can't play along to the really fast double kick. I can't do that. I didn't learn how to use a double click really. But yeah, drumming. So that's why, to any of you guys out there that ever wondered, why am I dancing at some points? If you guys see me and I'm dancing, well, it's in my DNA, man. I can't not. And I also learned to dance when I was little. I really liked all that stuff in school because before I hit puberty and turned into an idiot, I was like into dances and into I was in a couple plays and stuff. And just a real performer, right? So yeah, that's why, like, I can't not dance. I'm standing here working, and if I'm listening to music, I'm dancing. It's just who I am. And you know, like, you can still have a back disability and a pain thing and still be dancing. You just bop into the music. Like, you're not frickin' doing the windmill. But I used to be able to break dance too. Oh goodness. So what you guys are seeing me do here, and I'm jumping around like I got a problem. I'm just going in and adding more value into the drawing. You can do that by different ways, cross-hatching, little tiny X's and stuff to fill in a space with shading. Or right now I'm using dots and just going over, I'll go over pencil lines and stuff over and over and over again until it balances and looks right to my eye. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just jumping around, and as I see it, I kind of carve that way too, but in my how-to carving videos, I do my best not to do that because I'm trying to do things in steps and stages, right? So that watching my video has benefits, right? So I'm not just acting like a crazy person. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just jumping around, making things have a little bit more depth, giving dots, little dots, little dots, little dots. Over here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little tiny bird's nest in there, but it's empty. Now, as you can see, it's kind of someone's won some kind of wood spirit. I tend to do things, I tend to do the eyes last. I don't know. It's like you give the thing soul. So that's why he's just got blank eyes. He will have eyes. Oh, yes, he will. Yes, music through the family, so just tell him where you got the frickin' golf shoes. Hi, Claire. Thank you for coming. I had a nice Norman guitar, still have the drum in the basement, but I can't play it anymore. Oh. Well, I had a drum set for a while until I sold it to go partying. Sophie, Chris, all good, bud? Yep. Oh, Mark, thank you, man. Like I said, it's just about practicing. Yes, we do have a beautiful guest here, Claire. Thank you for coming, sister. I know it's like, well, right there, it's right now it must be 11:30 Paris time or France time. Sorry to say that. Claire is one of the admins. If you guys don't know, we're all admins. Well, Wheels, which is Chris Behringer, one of our very, very kind moderators. Thank you for doing that. Until It's Gone Carving. Look him up, folks. Until It's Gone Carving is his art name. But Wheels is one of the admins. Claire is one of the admins. Chris Aziz, we call him Warrior. His Facebook name is Chris Aziz Snow. But the Chris Snow is because of the Dragon Show. His name's Chris Aziz. Anyways, we call him Warrior. He's an admin. Skipper, Chris Burnett, he's an admin, but he's taking a break. And I actually wanted to tell you guys that I talked to Steve Kenzora because I sent him a message because I was worried about Skip. But he told me that Skip's good. He just wanted to take a break from social media and focus on the family. And hey, how can we not support that, right? So Skip's there doing that. And he's an admin. And there's also Stu from the UK, who's an admin. And then Larry Dale. Larry Dale is our, the chainsaw carver of the group, a wicked guy. So yeah, our admin team is, I think we have 6. And it was originally Carving Fusion World Award Wood Carvers with Jordy Johnson's group. It just got too big for Jordy. He doesn't like that. He likes everything being a little bit smaller and easier to control, especially when it comes to people and opinions and all of that stuff. That stuff stresses them out. And when we were doing the takeover of the channel, so to speak, I guess that's what you call it. That was the reason why we did it, is basically because if it's stressing you out, then no, it's not worth doing, Something is giving you stress and losing your sleep, you get to have the boot. But for the folks that we were already admins, and we said, no, we would like to, and he was kind enough to allow us to do that, and we took it over. And then it changed to Kindred Spirits Wood Carvers on Facebook. Now, I know there's not a lot of people watching, but I know this video will eventually be available to people that come to my channel. I want folks to know out there, if you're a beginner wood carver and looking for a tribe, come to us. You can say Wowie sent you, and come to our Facebook group. It's Kindred Spirits Wood Carvers, and people post whittle work, chainsaw work, powder carving, collaborate, like conglomerates of stuff, like you know, a carving, a little bit of relief carving and wood burning, and but it has to be carving based. But you know, all you know, beginners to professionals, everybody. It's a place. It's a safe place to come, show your work, learn from everybody, look it through, and everybody encourages each other. And there is no hate. There is no hate. We don't even like. It's just like boom, you're gone. You get the boot. There are people out there, and I'll never understand it, that spend their time on social media to just hurt other people's feelings, and I just don't. I don't freaking get it, man. I don't get it. I get so angry when I think about trolls. But you don't find that in our group. It's all about support. It's all about inspiring people and showing people that they can do this too. I know I trail off in my stories, but after I found Carving Fusion, you know, like it just became this adventure where all these new tools and stuff. And yes, it did cost a lot of money, but thank God I quit smoking. And I had that a little bit of extra money each month to put towards some carving burrs, and it's just a wonderful world. So we want to encourage anybody. So if you see this video and hear me babble, and you're a beginning wood spirit or a wood carver and love wood spirits, come check us out. And most of the people in here in the group are part of that family, that tribe. It's awesome. And I told Jordy, you know, like, for him, he's so busy, he can close the group, and then, you know, not really, it not affect him. But this is, you know, this is a big part of a lot of the little guys. This is a big part of our lives, you know. I spend a lot of time alone, most of my time alone. And so having a little tribe of creators outside of me and just me and my brother, it means a whole lot to me and to many other people out there. You guys are my family, and I love you guys. And I ain't afraid to say it. This is just a shader nub. If I just tried to say that and then rambled on. I ramble along. I'm a rambler. Let me see what's going on in the... You're not an admin. Tim, great group. Talent launcher. Part of this carving group on Facebook. Yes, safe haven for all the beginners to experience is not biased at all. I agree, not biased at all. Yeah, it's totally good. Agreed. Unsuspected talents in oneself. No doubt. We are all so capable. We are so capable of so much. I think of you guys all as all of the subs to my channel is. I don't want to say it because you guys people will probably think it's, you know, corny or whatever. But in my mind, you guys are Wowwy'z Wonders, because I fully believe I'm on this path right now, and I'm learning what we are capable of. I believe that all of our brains currently are in sleep mode, and when we start unlocking our true potential, we are wondrous, miracle-making entities. And so, yeah, you guys are Wowwy'z Wonders, all the subs to my channel, because you guys are all such impressive and special and talented, and we've all come together because we have, you know, kindred interests and desires to learn. And a lot of us that are here, especially like in Kindred Spirits and stuff, a lot of power carvers just in general are either like retired and, you know, have a lot more time on their hands now, or injured and retired. I found that so many people have their own injuries that they deal with, and they're looking for an escape in art. And again, that's another reason why I take all of this so seriously, is that, and I don't know if you've ever heard, but I have a hashtag that I use that it says made in pain. It's hashtag made in pain. And the reason for that is because if I was ever to get a bit bigger where I'm actually seeing more Well, it doesn't matter how big I get. I'm already using the hashtag, so the movement has already begun. But I use Made in Pain as for anybody who's a creator with a disability. Like, you don't have to be necessarily in chronic pain. Like, Made in Pain is just the name of the campaign where I support creators with disabilities. And it takes a lot to wake up to hardship and to pain and to a really, really, you know, if you're just to sit in the here and now, some people, that'll be the end of them. Sometimes we need escape. When I laugh because I'm a meditator, but in a lot of ways, being in the here and now is my most feared place, because that's when I really feel the pain that I live with. So I'm always kind of looking for that little tiny place to escape to. And I don't want drugs, I don't want booze. I want what's good. So, Made in Pain represents all of those creators out there that get up and still, that need a purpose in life and have it in them to pull everything together and work on that art that you so dearly have burning inside you and that you need to get out. That's what Made in Pain is about. And anybody, it doesn't matter what your disability is, it applies to you, because you're very, very special to have the strength to do that. And I know I'm looking at some people here that, you know, sew wheels. I got a new friend named Monty. I got a friend that I just bought. Oh, I'm waiting. I shouldn't say too much. Danny from the Netherlands. That man, with what lives with and what he can do with his carving, is just awe-inspiring. I call him a superhero, because his carvings, for him to wake up and be able to do that with the disabilities he lives with, is just, I'm teared up right now just thinking about it, because he even, like, you know, he whittles and his thumb even gets strained, and he shot me a picture of this metal brace that he made so that he can still do it. And he lays and watches TV and he's on his back. And so yeah, I have a package from Danny. I supported him and I bought something from him. And I can't wait for that to show up so that I can hold it in my hands. He's a really, really inspiring person. And then I'm going to do a special video, a tribe mail for that too. Tribe mail isn't always just gifts that people send. It's also, I'll also commission artists to do stuff, because I think we all deserve that support. Each and every one of us do. How are you guys doing in there? I hope you guys are talking and having a good time. Mark, you have a bone disease? Oh man. Well, first let me say, brother, I'm very sorry to know that, but you are a very strong and talented, frickin' wicked carver. I'm very proud of you. You're a Made in Pain warrior as well. So many of the people here that's another reason I also use pirate, you know, the pirate flag, or to kind of, you know, explain our tribe, because we are like a bunch of busted up old ex-rebels who now know that being crazy and wild is behind us, and we're all looking for a new cause instead of raping and pillaging and being crazies. Yeah. Made in Pain means a lot to me. And my friend Monty, he will use it sometimes, and when I see that, man, it just, because, you know, Monty had I believe he had a spinal stroke, and he's in a wheelchair, and he still gets up and he power carves, and he's really good. Monty King, and his art is Crippled Creations on Facebook. Crippled Creations Wood and Bone Carving. Sorry, I got so many. And I always want to, like, you guys are going to see on this channel, I'm going to shout out each and every one of you before I'm done, because you guys are all freaking wonders, man. Amazing, amazing people. So how's it looking? Is he starting to come alive? I'm sorry you can't see. Well, maybe you can. I can't. I don't know. I see comments down here on my. But oh, okay, I guess you guys can see, eh? I got a couple rocks going here. I'll move it a little to the right, a little bit there to the left. There's a rock there and some grass and whatnot. I'm trying to, you know, fill up the ground here, but I'm wishing I would have done maybe a little. I've had this, you know, we did a challenge not too long ago, Green Man and Friend. For some reason, my brain is like stuck in the Green Man and Friend. Like when it comes to drawing, I got a couple other drawings that you guys are going to see soon, where it's a gnarly old wood spirit looking at a little friend, and they're like, you know, laughing or conversing. Just that image has been in my mind a lot, and I don't know why, but I got to get it out. That's the thing about art, is if you have a concept, if you don't get it out, it'll drive you crazy. Take my word for it. I've got things and like inventions that I still haven't brought to fruition, mostly because of money, but I have one invention that I know guaranteed would save people's lives, and that really, really weighs on me, because I don't have the money for a patent. But my point being is that if you got a passion inside, you got to follow it, man, or it could take you down. How are we doing on time, guys? You guys still having a good time? How are we doing? I want to hug them. That's hot. Taking depth all the time. Thank you. That's so cool that you're here, Bellany and Josh and Darren and everybody on all the wood carving tribe. Doing the two front roots for a little critter of some sort. Oh yes, right here. Totally, bro. We can do that. We can do that. It's a good idea too. That's where a critter will go. Good idea, brother. Yeah, Darren has been really, really facing some hardships when it comes to. He's got a leg that he has a blood disorder and blood clots, but one leg that swells up much bigger than the other, and fuck, just living with that, man. And poor guy, he wants to be creating, but he's fighting with this blood disorder. And I love you, bro. This year we're gonna get you back into the underbelly, giving her, because you're getting stronger. Love you very much, brother. Yeah. Good to talk carving again? Talk carving? Oh. Talk carving to start carving, Claire. Or is she telling me to shut up and talk about carving? Oh man. I'm glad actually. I'm glad that I'm going on these conversational torrents. Because it's making the time go by. This kid named Josh came once to help with clean up the underbelly. You took off. Yeah. Oh goodness. Good times. Good times are had. Yeah. Ain't nothing like telling stories and making the time go by quicker with good folks, good people, and good friends. Oh, yes, totally. Yeah, and Claire's an amazing artist all around. Well, there's So. Yep, Darren's here, So. Claire can do all sorts of things. Claire's a lot like I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing, but I see a lot of similarities in Claire and me. Like she also has a thing for beach glass, which me and my brother, we adore beach glass, and we have the biggest stash in the world, all in different jars of colors, big, huge mason jars full of each one's a different color. We've been collecting it and stashing it. Don't know exactly what we're going to do with it all, but we found a beach that has it out here. And yeah, we have a thing for beach glass. It's so weird, but only beach glass lovers understand it. Claire's one. Yeah, yeah, Claire is really, really. Oh, here in your drawing would look awesome on. It's almost the same shape. Oh, wow. That's a cool idea, Mark. What's beach glass? Beach glass is glass that's been in the ocean for so long it's tumbled, and when it finally gets to the shore, it's soft and kind of frosty. And it's super cool. Like, I had never seen it being an Alberta person. When I came out here, our little town that we live by is called Sydney by the sea, and it has a beach that's called Glass Beach. And the majority of it, well, it's getting a bit, picked through now, but because it's kind of become a tourist thing. But the majority of this beach were rounded pieces of different colored glass. And when we came down, when we first came to this town, because my mom lived here and we'd come to visit, and we saw Glass Beach, we were just like, you can find shells and bone and driftwood and beach glass? It like freaking blew our goddamn mind. And what a smorgasbord of materials, So I was making like these weird hanger things with like straps of leather from this one leather shop I found. I got all this like thin pieces of leather, and our friend Melissa Hennekees, I think, still has one of them. And they're beach glasses and hung in all these weird different configurations off of pieces of driftwood. And I was making mobiles way back in the day when I came out here. And that's what the beach glass love started. And then we started making jewelry with it. And we learned really, really quickly that it's hard to put a hole through beach glass. You have to do it with diamond burrs underwater. Pretty tricky, but we figured it out. So we started making our jewelry, our blung jewelry. If you guys don't know, is it's Darren's copper blung, and then blung is recycled jewelry, basically. And our favorite things are keys, antique keys, and old tokens, trinkets, stuff from like old, like I have tags. I have like these brass tags from the Chevy factory that they used to give to employees. They're like shaped like just old things. I got like 1,000 dog tags from old dog tags. They were used, but some person had them on eBay, and so it's a little metal tag. So we make this jewelry called blung. It's like the opposite of bling. Bling is freaking gold and diamonds and ridiculously over expensive and hurts people to get it out of the ground. And bling is not the way to go. You go with blung. It's like sing and sung, present and past tense. So our bling is is recycled from the past, and it's way better than regular bling. Blung is the way to go. So yeah, we started using the beach glass with our blung. So there'd be like a key with a little piece of beach glass on a dangler, and then a little leaf that Darren made out of copper pipe, and a key, and that would be a blung necklace. And so when we started doing that and utilizing the beach glass with our blung, oh, we were down there all. Sometimes you'll see in my reels and shit, I'll use a picture of us when we're sitting on Glass Beach, and I'm rolling a joint and Darren's picking through the glass. And I got a shit-eating grin on my face. Yeah. I took a couple. Oh yeah, I've got my key on now, and I took a couple from my mom's too. Awesome, Claire. Claire has some blung that we sent out there. Yes, there is so much to do with sea glass. Yes, and Darren also does a copper wire wrapping. It's like I'm not shitting you guys. This is Darren made his own art form basically, and it's like, wow, I can't show you right now, but basically, okay, here, God damn it. This is a piece of beach glass, okay, from Glass Beach. It's frosty. It's actually, I can see it right here. It's Heinz Canada, it says. And it's been melted because they used to try to burn the garbage on this particular beach and then push it into the ocean. And so all of that old glass and shit got pushed into the ocean because they used it as a garbage dump at like the beginning of the 1900s out here. And then all of that glass, and then they also burnt some. So a lot of the glass is like warped. This has a weird bubble to it. But that's a Heinz Canada. So Darren will take that and he will use like 20 gauge copper wire, and he makes a cage, a border and a cage, and then he fills it. And it's like his own art form. This isn't something that you just pick up and say, okay, I want to be a copper wrapper. He created it himself. There are similar artists out there, but nothing like this, man. Nothing like what my brother makes. And so that's also a way that you can make you can do that and then tag a couple copper jump rings and make a pendant that way. But these big pieces we do some crazy art where we after we get a bunch of pile of these, we will weave them together and make like light shades or light pieces. You guys might see that little mushroom house that I have in some pictures where it's all lit up with a fire bulb in there. Those are all pieces of beach glass from Glass Beach that Darren individually wrapped first, and then we tied them all into a door, shape of a door, and we made a little door with a little brass. It's cool. I hope you guys seen that. Well, yeah, Darren, that's some of Darren's work. Work with an E. Frickin' put us on the rig. It's a goddamn catastrophe to humanity. Tarek! Hello, folks. Here he is, Brother Tarek. You know, we're almost to an hour, guys. We got 16 people and 16 likes. I think that's pretty damn good for Wowwy'z first time. Huh? Hello from sunny Oklahoma. Alan Terry is here, guys. Big Al. A very, very good person and soul. Big Al is. And so is Tarek. Tarek's a brother from another mother. It is so awesome that you guys made it. I'm just drawing and babbling. Rambling and babbling. Making a little art. Telling secrets I probably shouldn't say on YouTube. Oh yeah, okay. I promised folks that I was going to tell you guys about the gnarliest. Oh yeah, we got two from Quebec. Christopher's Creations. Nothing like it, Darren Dibbs. You are a stunning, inspirational lighthouse. Oh man. See that, Darren? Oh. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Christopher's Creations. He's also, Darren, you should see. He's making copper art, and it's inspired by you. And it's really special. He's been teasing me saying that something's coming in the mail, so hopefully I'll be able to give you a little, and I'll show you some pictures there. But yeah, he's making art that's inspired by you, bro. That's why we got to get Darren back in the underbelly, and then I can go and we can get... Darren had a nickname. He was Durwood. Wowie and Durwood. So maybe we'll get Durwood's underbelly going. Or Dragon's Den or something. That was another idea we had. But we got to get Darren going too, so that we can go over there and crash his little party and show you stuff. The underbelly is full of just wonders. All stuff that we've made together. And lots of beach glass and lots of copper. Darren can take a copper pipe, you know, discarded and forgotten. People can just melt it down or do whatever they do. He can take that and turn it into beautiful treasures, you know. There's a beauty about that just, and especially because it's discarded and made in pain, you know. That artwork that comes from that, there's a special spirit to artwork that's been made in pain, and also stuff that's recycled and just discarded and tossed in a corner. When you can take that and then turn it into something, my goodness, are you ever a magician? Yes, yeah, Darren, you're gonna love it. You're gonna see it. You're really gonna love it. So how are we doing, guys? Are you still okay with listening to me talk and stuff for a bit? How are we doing? We all content? We've made it an hour. It's a pretty damn good first go, I'd say. But I'm still going, so I hope you guys will stick around. If you can, I understand. I really appreciate that you came. And like I said, Amy Jo messaged me, and her grandson is having surgery, so she couldn't make it. But she said to tell everybody that she said hi and much love. And she's a real good soul. She's very, very supportive to the tribe, as we are to her. You know, what goes around comes around in this world, especially when it comes to support. Whoa, sliding away on me. Have you guys hit that like button? It doesn't show on my computer, so I just have a little thumbs up with a 0 next to it. Oh, I think I can see on my phone. We got 20 likes. Thank you, guys. This all helps the algorithm. Frick, man. Learning about this whole algorithm thing really ticks me off. I'll tell you why. And I'll be happy to tell you why, because it ain't right. Okay, when I first opened my channel, I asked Jordy. I said, should I use my Larry Dibb account? And I'm not blaming this on him, but he was like, nah, make a new one. But I thought about it in my mind, and I was like, but Larry Dibb, that started 2010, that account. And it was picking in my mind that maybe I should change the name and start, because I only have like 2 videos on that account. So just delete them and then start on that. And I've learned since then that I should have done it, because the algorithm, this whole YouTube thing is that when you start a new channel, you have to prove yourself to the algorithm that you're not a bot, which is just drives me insane. So it doesn't matter how good you are when you first start out. If you start a fresh YouTube channel and you're starting fresh, and you see that you got like 1 or 2 likes on a reel or whatever, it's because the algorithm doesn't trust you, and so you're not being put out there. So it isn't fair game to everybody. You have to go on here and like put in the frickin' time, and you have to show, and you have to use your account to hit, interact with other people and other pages and everything, and support, which that's a beautiful way to do it, is just support other people, because then the YouTube algorithm sees that you're interacting and shit, right? But yeah, it's not just based on talent alone or how good you make your videos. You have to prove yourself that you're not a bot, and that just ticks me off. But anyways, we're going on year 2 here on this channel. I'm very happy with how many subscribers we've gotten so far. I'm very proud of ourselves. Lots of people quit, and I'm not going to. There is no quit in us. Is there, brother? I'll stay up late like a naughty girl, Sophie. Parked for a minute, loving this live. Thank you. Are you going to bed? You going to bed, Claire? I'll stay up a little while. What does that say there? I gotta read that. I'm completely inspired by Oh man, thank you. Thank you, Chris. That really means a lot to me, man. It makes all of the effort and having to prove myself to this freaking algorithm, it makes it all worthwhile when I hear somebody say that, our art has helped them in any way at all. The biggest thing is just to pick up and try it yourself, right? And especially if you're a Maiden Pain creator. Because finding something like this or finding something like carving can save your life. And for me, like, we were locked apart in the beginning of COVID, because before, my brother and I would work together over at the Underbelly. I would work and stuff here too, like in our antler crowns and stuff. I would bring one home, and then work over here and weave them, because our antler crowns, like, they take like a year to wrap. And some of you have seen our pictures from our professional photo shoots. I got to put the professional in there because, just like when I'm working in the studio, I got to make it. You got to say studio or studio. What are you doing today? I'm working. Where are you working? Studio. So Stay up like a naughty girl. I take it one day at a time for my channel at my own pace. But Sophie's got a new channel, and that's the way to do it. Do it for fun. That's another thing I just found out too. The music I was using, I'm going to tell people on here so that you guys will learn this. Because both So and I were researching it, and she shared some stuff. But the music I was making from Suno and using, that was from the free tier. The free one, they'll give you credits and let you use something for free. Well, you can't use that music on a monetized channel. I just learned. So when my channel gets monetized, because we will succeed, I'm gonna have to go back there, and the songs that I used from the free tier Suno, I'm gonna have to turn that one off because you'll get copyright strikes. You got to be so careful with this stuff, man. And thank you, Sophie, for helping me learn that. And I told Amy Jo because she's given her, and her song came from the free tier as well. And so if I hadn't told her, when it comes to get monetized, every video basically she uses her little song in, all of that would have been not being able to monetize. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the studio sounds better than the. But I like to see you say the creation station. But yeah, if you're just doing it for fun and you're not worried about being monetized, go hard on the Suno and the Udio and all of that stuff. But what the trick is that they make you pay. So if you pay for a monthly subscription and then make your jingle, you have the rights to that. So if I continue to use those, like I'm at a turning point because I can make my own songs. They may not be as good, but they're mine, right? And I don't like feeling like I got a watchdog that's going to come someday and ruin my channel because of whatever I did, right? So, but if you pay for a month and then go hard and make like 100 songs and know that you got your ass covered, then just unsubscribe. So you only had to pay them for 1 month, right? That's the way around it. See, I was looking on there and they're trying to make you sign up for the yearly and it's like 240. Like, no. You guys almost caught me with this free tier shit. I pay for mine, use the $10 tier. Yeah, that's the way to do it, because then you don't have to worry about them coming for you, Tim. You know. Mine, and most of mine are copyright. What I do for this channel, for all of my How the Makers videos, I use all of my music from YouTube Studios. And it's all no attribution required, and YouTube is already it provides it to you, so there's no worry. And all of my music up to this date, except for these little jingles that I was making with Suno, have been YouTube Studios music, and so I've never had to be worried about third-party music or copyright strikes. But just found out about, and thank you, So, because you helped me figure that out there, and now we've helped Amy Jo. But her and I were talking, maybe, I know I'm good enough on guitar where I can hear a song and then figure out the chords and shit. So I might do a version of Amy Jo's song in the same melody and chords, but it just ain't Suno. It'll be Wowwy, right? And then she doesn't have to worry and then have to pay. So that, I might do that for a sister. She deserves it. And think about all the, yeah, totally, Wheels. And by the time that we all start using it, people are going to say it's played out, right? So, thank you, Claire. I like my lyrics too. It makes it fun. I'm just doing this for fun, Mark. Yeah, I know. Well, she's very inspiring, Mark. With a very wide range. Yes, it does. So I'm here for the music too. Thank you, Alan. 1 month gets you 500 songs. That's cool. That's all. And you know what? That's pissed me off too, is because I didn't look into it in the beginning like I should have. And so on my phone, I have my idea was okay, I'm going to finish that. I have about 100 songs for Tribe Mail, for Wowwy'z Workshop, and for Tool Talking. I've made intro jingles for with the free tier. And then I found all this out, and then also a little, you know, little one of those little asterisks. When you sign up for the monthly member, none of your old free tier songs, it doesn't go retro. So you can't use those songs after signing up. You have to start fresh. So all of that shit that I sat there and I got in my phone, sat every day, I'd be like, I got to wake up every day, post a short, if I can think of something worthy, and make a couple songs. And it was just like a part of my morning. All those songs now are for naught. But, and because my idea with that, with the music making, was for LaRue. Now LaRue is the music side of me, and there's a reason why he's named LaRue too, like everything else in this. It was one of my other nicknames from a couple of my other cousins when I was little, Lucky LaRue. And that's why the owl is named LaRue, all right? Anyways, I have this cartoon that I love dearly. It's called Squidbillies. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of it. If you haven't, it's so funny. It is so funny, and it's about this family of squids, hillbilly squids that live down south that, you know, love NASCAR and liquor and hookers, and it's so fun. Remaster your free songs under the pay tier. Yes, I'm considering doing that and just doing it for doing that. Yes, you should have a channel, Claire. Anyways, the Squidbillies, they have a couple main theme songs, kind of like here. I have the Wowwy'z Workshop intro, and then I have, like I said, for Tribe Mail and for Tool Talking. So the idea was that every time I'd go to LaRue, and because LaRue is an actual radio, and it would be a different version of the same 3 songs. You feel me? And they would just make it fun, right? Every time I tune into LaRue and see what version of, like, it was always the same words. All the people say, what's going on today down in Wowwy'z Workshop, where we use art each day to chase the blues away, down in Wowwy'z Workshop, brought to you by Two Brothers, One Vision. That's our theme song, right? But I did Metallica, I did, you know, hard metal, I did fucking funeral gore and all of these different versions of it. And then hoping that just as I make videos, I'm going to use them all one by one with LaRue. So that's why I started doing that. Even though I can play guitar and make my own little jingle, that's why I started doing the, the Suno thing, is because I could make a wider range and like female players. And like I can't do like the heavy metal versions of the intros, you know. I do use GarageBand on my iPhone, and it's a studio. And I can do some things with it. And I'm making a couple more Tool Talking ones that are, you know, no worries, no Suno worries attached to it that I'm going to use in upcoming Tool Talking, because I got some new Arbortech tools to review. But yeah, I'm just really considering now. I just don't like that feeling of having to. But like you said, Tim, if I just pay and then make them, I'll be okay. He reminds me of Bobo from Jason and Argonauts. That LaRue is cool, yes. Yes, you know what he looks like, Mark? He looks like the owl from Clash of the Titans. There was a little owl in Clash of the Titans that was made out of metal, and that's what LaRue looks like. So you're right, Mark. Excuse me for sniffling. I'm gonna light my special island tobacco here. I was told that the tobacco without the chemicals is safe, so that's what we smoke. I'm just kidding. It's marijuana for the pain. Yes, LaRue's a neat little dude. Under the bar, Claire, it's so much fun, and you don't have to be on camera. I hate it too. Yes, it is. There is a part of doing the videos that sometimes that I always think I look much heavier than Katie tells me that I'm just being paranoid. But Camera does put a couple pounds on. Old Wowie anyways. But LaRue's still going to be around. Don't get me wrong. But it just might be my original music is all. I gotta sort that out and figure it out and think about it. So a couple people told me that, no man, don't, it's cheesy, and well, I don't want to, I don't know. You just gotta kind of follow your own gut, because people are gonna tell you not to. You're always gonna get opinions, and they're not always favorable to how you feel. How's that guy looking now? Is he looking pretty good? Whoa. Low power mode. Okay, guys, I'm getting low power mode. So I'm going to tell you, my craziest painting I ever did. We used to have hotel parties. We'd all pull our money together, get a bunch of beer and stuff. It was right after we moved to Edmonton, and we were still getting, getting into the friend circle and stuff. Didn't know many people. Well, we were at this hotel party. I was wearing my overalls, one strap on, and I remember IKEA overalls, and this guy pushed me in the pool, or not in the pool, in the tub full of beer and ice water. Okay, so I am soaked and I am drunk and I am mad. This guy that pushed me was like one of the biggest scrappers, local legends in West Edmonton at the time, in this age bracket, right? He's one of the tough guys. I didn't know, and I'm a bit crazy. I told you I'm not right in the head. So I kept on haunting him because he pushed me. Why the fuck you pushed me in the tub, man? Blah, 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 blah. And I made him mad. And it was at the end of the night, we were in this stairwell, and I remember it was Sandman Hotel, white painted cinder block walls, and he punched me in the nose, and he broke my nose, and my head hit the cement. And when he did this, it snapped me out of my drunken stupor, and now I can remember this now, right? And I was like, fuck you. And so he just winds up, he punches me again. My nose is broken, touching my cheek. I got blood coming out down the back of my throat, instantly just filled. I just bring it all up, my mouth fills up, and I just, and I spit in my whole mouth. And this guy, I can just remember him, it all went on the wall like a Japanese flag. And he bent down, and it was a perfect cutout of his head. And it looked like the Japanese flag, but with blood, like a perfect starburst, with a guy's head in the middle. Holy! And he stood up, and I remember him saying, "You're fucking crazy. You are crazy." And he just like took off. And then we went back home, the stragglers that we went, and we had a couple guys coming to crash at our house, and I straightened my nose in the mirror. And it was really crooked for many years after that until I got plastic surgery. But that was the gnarliest painting I've ever created. And from that painting, our rep was, people in Edmonton were like, nope, those dip boys, don't even go there. They're not right in the head. They're freaking crazy. And it was all because of that, the stories that all go, the local legend stories that happened from that whole thing. That's what happened, guys. That was the gnarliest painting I ever painted in my life. And then it goes to show that if you're a little bit crazy, you can go a long way when you're making new friends in a crazy bad town. Ow! Tammy! I'm sorry, Tammy. I'm just going... We're just wrapping it up because my phone is going to die. Unless I... Give me a second. Give me a quick second. I think we're okay. I'm just gonna have to mess with the camera here for a second. We are okay. Okay. Whew. Tammy, it's so good. It's you snitched. Oh, rats. No. It's okay. I got her plugged in, Tammy. We are okay, folks. How have you been, Tammy? Gypsy Rose. God, that was exciting. That was exciting. I had no idea that the live stream would go that far. It's just been awesome. Thank you guys for doing this, man. Thank you so much. Hey, Darren, remember that? The guy's last name was something Prince, I think. And he busted my nose so bad. But yeah, that blood painting, man. Lots of kids talked about that for years and years. Oh, you gotta, oh, thank you. Yes, it's a wood spirit. It's been going on for a while. Black Widow, thanks, Larry. I have to go prepare my dinner. Okay, so, thank you very much. Sheldon, yes, that's right. That's right, Darren. Sheldon something. Thank you for coming, so. Give Johan my best. Hope your dinner is great. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Every Wednesday, I'm going to be here. Being Wowie, doing something. It's, I draw basically with graphite, and then the darker spots, Tammy, I got these pencils that are just amazing. They're called Faber-Castell Pitt Graphite Matte. And so, I don't know if anybody out there draws, but in the darker shades of traditional pencils, graphite, when you go darker, it has a reflection on certain light. It has like a reflective, and you can only see it when you like look from the side. But I know this because I'm an OCD artist and I pick apart everything that I make, right? But these ones, Faber-Castell Black Pitt Graphite Matte, they don't have any reflection. And they are dark. Like this one is 6B, but they are dark, and then they don't have the reflection. And they're a lot like charcoal. And they go up to like 10B. Maybe even 12B. But my set goes up to 10B. That's dark. Like that is super dark. So you can achieve that charcoal depth with these pencils. They're a little bit pricey, but they're darn tootin' worth it. Thank you for the question. I was hoping that I'd get a couple questions here. I just cut you off and tell a stupid story. Yes, they are pretty good. Very, very, very proud of you, brother. Amazing drawing. Will you leave it black and white? Yeah, I think I will for this one, just because I went this far. If I was going to add color, I probably would have, started with doing the levels of, excuse me, doing the levels of darkness as I go down. I would start using the pencil crayons, or, I don't know. You know what I am going to do, though, on this channel? I have a big box. One of the Dremel Maker Studio contest that I won, I bought like a watercolor set, a really, really good one, has everything in it. So I'm going to do that on, yes, Derwent also is a really good brand, but I'm going to do watercolor on the channel coming up soon. And so a drawing like this, I wouldn't add all the gray and stuff. I would just start and doing the watercolor layers, Chris, and do color that way. But I found from the past that if I do this much graphite and I try and add color, it just doesn't blend the way it should. And it just, what kind of paper? This is this is actually watercolor stock that I like. I like a thicker paper. The only problem with this stuff that I'm using here is that rolling it up is a pain in the butt for like selling it and sending it, right? And if you do get it in the tube, when you get it out, you have to unroll it, weight it down, you know, put it in a frame because it's very thick. Yeah. All of the rich kids in the class had those. Yes, I know. Those darn rich kids. We went through that too, Claire. Good old Grand Prairie. Working on the rigs. It's perfect. I know you worked on that for some time. Do you have any idea how long? I would love to see more drawing. You're gonna get more drawing, my friend. This here, I would say maybe 10 hours, 10 or maybe 15 hours are put into it so far. But it's like, with me, it's so hard to gauge it, right? Because sometimes I can only do something for a short amount of time. And then you got to add those all together and try and figure it out. And which is also why, like, our like the crowns and the copper work, the weaving, some of those things, like a crown can take 2 years to be finished, because it's not like every day bang 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 wake up and just give her. It's sometimes sometimes, as sad as it is, we have many days in between that we can't create because we're buggered up too much and just in too much pain. Sometimes it's just too much. And as sad as it is to say, sometimes I wake up, I'll sit in bed, I'll, you know, gather myself, I'll get up and I'll move downstairs and then lay it out the way I can so the couch pull-out doesn't hurt. And I lay there all day and just, you know. And the thing is that if my back is all irritated and angry and hurting, you know, because I have no disc in my L3, it's been removed with failed surgery. And so sometimes I have to just lay there and take the weight off, and it's just the way it is. I can't do nothing about it. And that's why this whole YouTube experience is like, I've bit the bug. I've got the bug, right? Because I can lay there and watch YouTube and then do my editing on my videos, which is also, if some people wonder why I put so much time and effort into my videos, that's why. It's because I'll lay there and just go over it and over it and over it and get like super anal about it. Like I'm making some type of, you know, cable television show. And Jordy was saying, you know, I don't know if, you know, I don't think people are going to like that, because people come to YouTube to learn. And I think he's right in a lot of ways. I'm sure lots of people just skip past my intros, but hey man, I'm just doing me. I'm just doing what makes Wowie happy. And if it takes me longer to get those subs, well, so be it. We don't want you to leave. I never thought of sketching a wood spirit. Brilliant. Yes. 10 hours in heart and soul. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for seeing that. And in my land, it's 3:28 only. And for Claire, it'll be 12:30 midnight, I think. Thank you, Claire, for staying up, man. Like this, it means so much to me that you guys came, everybody. And I hope my stories about making a blood painting didn't scare anybody away. Oh, we still got 17 people, so that's all right. I think we've done really, really well. 11:30 in the UK. Another late one. Yes, Claire. Love you, my friend. Much love to everybody here. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And my hands are starting to sweat, which is a bad thing when it comes to drawing. So I'm going to have a little puff here. Have a sip of the heavy on your lemon. Keep your honey runny. Oh, all right now. Have a little sip, have a little puff, and some closing remarks to this live. Did we do okay, guys? Have you had fun? Will you tell your friends and come back for next Wednesday? Have your soup, brother. I'm about done here. I'm just going to have a little puff here and formally say goodbye to everybody because I really appreciate you guys coming, and I want to convey that. This is went just perfectly, and I'm very, 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 very happy. I sure was nervous. But I did. Wheels told me, he said last night, he's like, I've been watching videos on how to go live, and then it just dawned on me. I'm like, I'm sitting here worrying about it, and I haven't frickin' YouTube searched it. And then I YouTube searched it, and 2 videos. I'm down. I am down. I know how to go live. My goodness. Love back to you, Tammy. I'm doing okay. My night friends had a lovely time chatting and watching your magic, Claire. Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much, sister. Much love to you, Claire. I really appreciate you coming. I'm sorry you didn't make it for the longer part, Tammy. We did pretty good. We were at 1 hour, 91 minutes and 20 seconds. That's pretty darn good for a live. I hope that algorithm is going to start trusting me now. I'm still pissed off about that. Thanks for the awesome live with you. You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Mark, I really appreciate you, brother. Keep freaking doing your magic, man. Making your magic. You're doing awesome. You're a really, really good carver. There's Darren. I hope so too. I hope you're there, brother. Yes, he hopes so too, guys. Everybody. That comes from 2 brothers, 1 vision together. We really, really appreciate you guys. Every Wednesday, I'm going to be here. And I think 2 o'clock worked okay. What do you guys think? Maybe I'll make a poll for people to, but I think 2 o'clock worked okay with y'all. Of course, Claire is the latest, and I'm sorry. I could also do it, like, I want the folks down south in America to be able to catch it right. And I'm worried that if I do it at like 1 or noon, then it'll be 3 or 4 their time, and most people will be at work on a Wednesday. So that's what I'm worried about. So we'll get her figured out. Whatever time works best for you folks. And then, yep, it works with an E. Works with an E. Fucking love you, brother. Thank you for that. Now you guys understand my wacky ways a little bit more. Thank you all very, very much. I'm gonna... And I know Darren appreciates it too. And Darren's going to be back here too with us, folks. And we're going to show you guys a lot more stuff. A lot more of our art. Tell you lots more stories. And thank you. Thank you for coming. Because there is no YouTube without you. Should be at work, but it's slow right now. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Tarek. Thank you for making it all the way through. Love you guys. And you might see me do just like unexcited, just a random live here and there. I might, if I'm just working on something, I think it might be worthy, but I will be here every Wednesday doing a work in progress, work with an E. Much love to all of you. Wowie out.